Another thing is the first part of this workshop will be what we call a circle. And from the circle we're going to go into movement exercises, which will be based on improvisational theater exercises developed by a woman named Viola Spolin. And then from there we'll do a little bit of singing. So basically the workshop will be in 3 parts. After that, if you want to leave, you can leave early. And then sit down and do the pencil and paper. We brought enough paper and pencil for all of you. And my goal tonight is, besides having some fun and acting like a bunch of kids and kind of bonding and getting comfortable with each other so we can be foolish, I'm going to try to show you actually how to dictate rhythm tonight. Before you leave this evening, you will be able to hear rhythms or music and write it down. So my goal is, in roughly 15 minutes, I'm going to teach you to do something that took me over 2 years in college to learn to do. I have developed these, I've developed these instantaneous ways of transmitting music knowledge that's so basic people can catch on. And some of my students, you already know what code words are. But the nice thing about code words is you should be able to actually read and write some basic rhythms before you leave here tonight. So that's my goal. So we'll have some fun and we'll do some knowledge. So if everybody could just push their chairs back, we'll start here. Everybody get into a nice big circle. So all stand up in a nice big circle. Okay, I have about 10 minutes here in which I have to make us all bond and become friends and get to know each other and have some feeling of trust and create an environment in which we can all feel like a bunch of little kids and not worry about feeling and acting silly. Okay? So the first thing I'd like to do is everybody join hands. Now if you're too close to a pole, get away because we're going to get away from a pole. Okay, now this first exercise is a group exercise in which we're going to see what it's like to work together as a group and to fight with each other and then see if we can come back into working together as a group. And it's quite simple. All we're going to do is this. Swing our hands in and then back down, in and out, in and out. And now this is called sync. We're all in sync. And this is an attempt to get our heartbeats going in the same space. Okay? Now when I say chaos, I want everybody to start swinging their arms arbitrarily in any direction you want. And then after that I'll say come into sync and I want us to get back to this. You ready? Chaos. Sync. Chaos. Sync.
Yes, it's hard to overcome sometimes.
Chaos. Sync. And now you see how fast we were able to get into sync after a while. This is called unconscious consensus. And when you're working in a group, there has to be a part of you that's using ESP all the time, sensing everybody and everything. And when everyone wants to start playing the same thing, you just got to go there and not say, well, I'm the greatest one here, and we ought to do it my way. Well, let's stop. Okay, now switch legs. And back down. Okay. Now, what we're going to do this time is, we're going to take our hands and swing our hands way up in the air, and then bend forward like this. Okay? Let's grab hands. Ready? In sync. Up, down, up, down. One more time. Okay, now this time, we're going to do that 4 times. And on the 5th time, I want everyone to yell as loud as they can the worst, nastiest cuss word you can think of. Ah. Serious. The dirtiest, filthiest thing that comes out of your mouth. You ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, go! in here from outside. So what we do here is save. And that's a good way to get rid of tension from the group. Welcome. Get yourself ready to hop into the circle. Okay, now what we're going to do is, the first thing in music is known as the heart, the beat. My heart beats. And one of the first things we have to do as a group is actually get our heartbeats synchronized. You'll find that when groups are playing together, if their heartbeats are synchronized, the rhythm becomes incredible. Now, anytime you've ever seen a band like Dave Brubeck, where he's playing with his sons, you'll notice that when there's that biological connection in the band, that rhythm's even more intense. And things that they can do that nobody else can do. So if we can get our heartbeats in sync with each other, we can do better rhythmic things. So the first thing is, it all comes from the heartbeat. Now the heart pushes blood through our veins and creates what we call a pulse. A pulse. And the difference between a pulse and a beat is just an electrical impulse that shocks the heart to get it to move, but the pulse is the lifeblood itself. In music, we have what's called metronomic rhythm, and we have what people call the groove. When you are grooving, you are playing metronomically, but you're playing with life. You're imbuing, as God once said, rush. You're putting ruach, you're putting the gift of life into the rhythm, so it's not just what we would call undifferentiated pulse, it's pulse that grooves. Now there's a big debate. Count Basie and Stan Kenton once had a big debate. Stan Kenton said one note cannot groove. Count Basie said of course one note can groove. So Stan Kenton sat down at the piano and he went, "Dumb." And Count Basie said, "I agree, that doesn't groove at all." Not at all. So Stan Kenton said, "You do it." Count Basie walked over and he went, "Bomb." Can you see the difference? Can you feel the difference? That grooved. Why? Because he prepared himself internally. He had his internal clock, put some life into that, and then breathing that life into that single note that he played, that life comes out, jumps right at us, okay? That's the difference between pulse and beat. So what we're going to do right now is we're just going to start by clapping our hands together and get a beat going. Everybody just start. Now the first thing we can do with the beat, get it all nice and steady. We're going to start to speed up. Listen to me. Don't push me. I'm the leader. Now we're going to slow down. And now we just keep it steady. And halt. Got it. Speeding up and slowing down. First thing I want to ask you, how did it feel when we sped up?
Great.
Great.
Exciting.
Exciting. That's the word I want to hear. Exciting. We put energy into something. What about when we slow down?
It was a bit offsetting.
Relaxing. Going to sleep. So I can put emotion into something as simple as clapping my hands just by speeding it up and slowing it down.